Ross is back. Minus the boot.
Where's your baby?
We're good, by the way.
Disposed of him.
Wait,
Oh yeah, 100% live.
are we live?
I believe so. Yeah.
Good evening and welcome to tonight's episode of Eat, Crit and Survive, where a bunch of people gather in different locations and then question Ross's parenting choices about disposing of a baby somehow. I'm going to be playing some Dungeons and Dragons.
Baby is safe with mother. I'm just gonna quickly squash any kind of rumors.
If anyone else from the NPCC is watching, baby is safe.
I was expecting you to just play dumb forever. It's just like, what happened to Arthur? Like, who's Arthur? What Arthur?
What baby?
Oh yeah. Well, he was a baby, and then he pulled some sword out of a stone, and then now walks in. Rule Britannia.
He has the power.
Just you
Or
guys
should
wait.
we outside out ironmonger? There's no way to form a system of government.
Did Luke get the reference?
What, sword in the stone?
No, it's no way to elect a king by just willy-nilly giving out swords, basically.
I've heard of it. I can't remember where it's from.
I'm just always curious about what references you have and
Stupid
haven't heard.
cunts lying in a lake throwing swords at people is no basis for a system of government.
It's Monty Python.
Ah, fair enough. Feels like it. It felt like a Monty Python, but I wasn't certain. I haven't watched a Monty Python for a little while. It felt like old British comedy, so.
Oh, that hurts deeply.
It is old British comedy.
It is
My
old,
parents watched it.
Yeah. It's like saying, oh, Blackadder, that's current.
It's as current as it needs to be.
Exactly.
I'm just offended because it's weird to call it old when there's been no new one invented. So British comedy has basically been the same for decades, and that's because it's perfect.
No, it's got so much worse.
It has.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Comedy was better in the 70s and 80s, but
No.
now you have to.
I pretty much think British comedy peaked with Blackadder and Red Dwarf.
Mm.
It is never better than those two series, I don't think.
Never really got Red Dwarf. Why is he rolling randomly?
I'm checking something.
You making sure that the dice roll is showing on the stream?
Yes.
That's
And
your
it
excuse,
wasn't.
that's your excuse, and you're sticking to it.
Yeah, he's just testing out all the dice so he can figure out which ones go in dice jail. Simple.
Yeah.
The digital dice jail? Always.
Yeah, that's going to be the next upgrade for D&D Beyond.
You lift the dice that has screwed you and throw it somewhere.
Yeah.
I mean, you've got a crash can on the Zesta, so
I mean, I'd be tempted to pay extra if, if like a D20 rolls a natural one, if I could click something and have the die burned by flame or melted down or something.
You just need a massive hammer coming in, hitting it over and over again until it smashes into a fine dust.
Yeah.
that's it. So, if everyone is ready, baby is away with mother, and Connor is fixing things.
I don't know why something's broken.
Where we last left off, the Wandering Stars had descended into Atlantis and were exploring to try and find the favour of Poseidon as part of their quest to gather these fragments of the gods to put them together into some form of diamonds to lock away missionaries from the different elemental planes and beyond. With Poseidon not being there, your next protocol was to speak to Triton, his son, and to get a conversation with him. And his recommendation was that if you wanted to get in good with his father, go and kill one of the generals of the massive war that was going on there between Poseidon and Capolia. Having found where this big shark person would be, and having revived Foundling from being dead, he set off to find the big sharky boy. Swam through his volcanic passageway, snuck upon him.
That's a euphemism.
Now, I think what we need next time, Connor, for the next upgrade that we do for the stream is just innuendo counter.
Yeah.
I'm struggling to get the dice roller to work. Never mind any window count.
I can build it into chat, so then we can have people in chat count for us.
It all counts.
Dice roller won't work unless it's not in full screen mode. Why have you got to be this way?
All right, leave it out, Connor. If it's not working, leave it out for this week.
Yeah, it's fine.
Quality production here, everyone.
Yep. But exactly. So having
We'll do it live.
snuck through and found Achilles, and then defeating him with his 3 priestesses, battle raged and knocked several of you unconscious. Kalatar swallowed, and Asha.
Sorry, what happened to Kalatar?
And killed. With the fall of Asha and then swallowed into the intestines to follow Kalatar, Leela pulled them out as Leela delivered the final blow with the drones, as Leela is wont to do. He returned after looting the area and returned back to Atlantis with your seahorses that were still alive somehow because they had hid so well behind themselves. And you set up the night in the only room or house, seemingly, that is air breathable, which is just as well because your water breathing expired. So
I'm not all that concerned.
no, I didn't think it'd be a problem. So that is where we pick off, as you all come to consciousness after a night of rest in the various rooms that you're in. The morning is filled with the smell of something cooking downstairs.
What does it smell like?
And sort of potatoes, a little bit of meat, possibly fish.
Did we actually obtain the favour we need last night?
No, you didn't. Poseidon wasn't back yet.
Right.
But you did speak to Triton briefly, and he said he would be passing it along to his father. You'd returned.
I'm going downstairs and find source of this smell.
As you come down, you see there are 2 people down there already. It's a little bit disturbing, though, as you see this, and it shakes you and you do a double take. Firstly, Asha is sat at the table. And Cedric turns around to look at you, and he looks different. It's the same as when you see someone who's had a full beard for a long time and has shaved for the first time. It takes you a while before you go, what? Cedric is mushroomless.
Good morning.
Morning. I have 2 questions.
Yes.
Yes, maybe more than 2.
Yeah, I think
How and why?
Well, I was hungry and I put on the stove.
I too was hungry and ate what was on the stove.
Would you like some?
If this is some kind of joke, it's in very, very poor taste.
Lyra comes down the stairs.
yeah.
It actually tastes rather nice.
This is.
It's,
I'm not joking. I made breakfast for everyone.
That was very kind of you, Cedric. I think I'm going to go back upstairs.
what?
My hand on
Lyra turns around and goes back upstairs, pushing past Kalatar as he goes to. The hand rests on Asha's shoulder. Feels warm. You can feel a heartbeat.
through the shoulder.
Through the, in the general vicinity.
I would say in current
You can feel
circumstances,
some form of pulse.
I am not wearing armor.
Have you seen people with massive bulging muscles having those veins that just like twitch, just
And hand across the top. You've got enough capacity to feel something. She's alive, damn it!
I move from the position I am standing with one arm on the shoulder.
Oh, I understand. There's some confusion around why Asha is at the table, eating breakfast with us.
Oh my god.
And what's happened to your mushrooms?
Well,
Are these the real Asha and Cedric? Can I make an insight check?
Make an insight check. I can
Sorry,
feel
just also, is anyone else having some trouble hearing Matt?
No, I can have trouble hearing.
Let
I
me
can't hear Matt very well, that's all.
turn up the gain on the.
It might help if Micro was leading in my direction.
You, Matt and Laura, just check your levels.
Hello.
Hello.
Better.
Matt again?
Hello.
Better, I think.
you got
Are you
worse
not
when
on
you shouted.
the? You're not using the Yeti, are you? That's coming through a laptop, mate.
No, I am using the Yeti.
Yeah, we're all on that.
That might be why, though, as well.
Hello. I'm not spending the entire evening shouting.
Oh,
Oh,
that's better.
oh, that's better. Something fixed that then.
Have you turned up the microphone thing on Zoom?
Yeah, the microphone thing on Zoom for some reason was really low. I don't know.
Ah,
But because it's
Thank you.
2 feet away from me, it picked me up quite easily.
it did sound for a while like there was something covering Matt's
Yeah.
microphone. Mike's matrophone, yes.
It was a bit like he was shouting from another room.
How stick I get for not selecting the right microphone or camera.
I know. I know.
Anyway, because you didn't go through the entire stream and forgot to record something.
Oh,
No, I hadn't
I've
started
done that.
recording.
I've done that.
I hadn't started it, and now I just have.
Or forgotten to turn my own microphone on, or any variation of things. 100%.
Thank you,
Everyone's
Streamdex. And just as you were all doing that, I got my phone went off, and it was Streamlabs sent me a message going, "Just letting you know, you're streaming, but you're not recording." It's like, thanks.
That's fine. We'll get it off Zoom, off Twitch later.
Anyway.
Yeah, can people
Yes, Handling, make an insight check.
16.
16. This does appear to be Cedric and Asha.
Cedric,
Yes.
what is going on?
Well,
At least I probably should say for family, nothing they have said so far leads you to believe that they are not Cedric or Asha.
Can I come down the stairs holding Dronat, feeling very kind of sad because she feels kind of like sad for not healing Asha, and then she's just like sobbing into Dronat. She looks up and she goes, "What?" And she's gonna slowly walk over with her finger ready to poke, and just
You poke. There is
Visible,
steel.
visible pain.
You take 1 point of damage from falling consciousness.
and die. So-
Leela's speechless.
Oh,
Basically, you know how a few of us had a favor with the Raven Queen. Well, I cashed mine in.
At what cost?
Well, that's a good question.
I know, that's why I asked it.
What's this favour? This was before my
It's a
time.
3-hour lecture. Dear.
We
in
did.
real time, go on.
I don't want to take over the stream.
We helped her out, and she eventually said she'd help us out. So I called in a favor. But yes, there are maybe a few catches with it. So I know that we all were going to miss Asha a lot. So I thought I'd give her another second chance. Problem is that now neither of us will get a second chance. A second chance.
So
Mine's actually a third or fourth chance.
Yeah, I think I'm on my 6th or 7th.
At least fifth.
in the same way that Asha could not be revived because of a deal made with Odin, now both of you have a similar clause but with the Raven Queen.
Sort of. So I think the deal with Odin is kind of complete, but basically, Ash's life thread is now interwoven with mine. So if there's some more complications to it. So if one of us dies, we both die.
Seems fair.
Wow.
So
That's
basically,
very
don't let either of us
selfless.
die, please.
That's very selfless of you, Cedric.
Well, Asher is very important to the mission and to us.
Lyra will come back down the stairs.
Does Asha still have the weird swirly thing in her eye? That's the mark of Odin.
She does still have that patch over her eye.
But I can't see if the thing's actually still there.
It's still there.
Okay.
That was part of the other deal that she made with Odin.
Yeah.
Sorry, yeah, I converse with gods a lot. I never read the T's and C's.
Small print is that you just click accept.
You just accept the T's
Just
and C's.
scroll
Yeah,
accept.
the god you end user license agreement, just accept.
Yeah. Lyra returns to
Well,
the kitchen.
this is good news. I was not expecting this.
But also, as you may have noticed, I am less earthy than I was
Fungal.
before.
Yes.
Less fungal.
Yes. So basically, it means that I've I had to pledge a little bit more allegiance to the Raven Queen, and because of that, some other things have obviously changed.
I'm going to regret asking this, but what have you pledged?
Oh, I mean, nothing more than, the whole if one of us dies, we both die, and, no reviving stuff. So, I mean, there was not many additional clauses that really she could have added on.
Why did the Raven Queen want your mushrooms?
Sentences go. You won't hit that in any other situation. No. That's one to the innuendo transfer.
I think it was more. Oh crap! What was the word I just had in my head? Oh, more symbolic than anything. I had my second chance with the Myconids, and through all of the essentially the mushrooms, and now that I don't get another one, I don't have that anymore.
I see. I think I understand.
So are you both able to still do what you've always used to be able to do?
I can no longer transform into animals or be spoiled up. But I can do other things.
I was just saying that seems like almost a 50 golds worth of a punishment.
I, for example, I can bring back people from the dead. Slightly better than I could before.
Has Asha had to give allegiance to the Raven Queen as well?
No. It's purely been tied into my lifeline.
Okay, and just to check, the Raven Queen is happy with our plan to save the world and stop the visionaries and everything.
I mean, she probably wouldn't have done the deal otherwise.
Are you both still willing to travel with us?
Yes.
I imagine I don't look fantastic.
You're sort of looking at Asha. She is heavily wounded still. The bite marks and the tooth marks from the battle yesterday still penetrate deeply to sort of leave these deep visible scars. And you notice this entire time when she's been doing anything with her arm, she has been eating and embracing people. She has only ever used her left arm. Her right arm just sort of hangs there, unmoving.
I've seen you look worse, but I've also seen you look a lot better.
Oh yes, let me fix that for you. And I will grab Ash's arm and cast Regenerate,
Okay.
linking the two parts of the limb together.
Okay.
Which I think if it's all there is instantaneous. Otherwise,
It is instantaneous, yeah. It's what it seems to be is it's a form of nervous and musculature damage that has severed in the arm and has just sort of restricted the movement. So the regeneration takes a minute for you to cast.
it does, yes.
And it will last for an hour, but Asha will regain hit points for a while, regaining 4d8 plus 15 instantly, which you are currently at 1.
Yep.
And then gaining 1 hit point at the start of each of your turns, 10 hit points per minute.
4d8, wasn't it?
Plus 15, yes.
Yep. Is number 29.
Okay.
29.
She's going to regain 600 in the next hour.
Oh, yeah, that's good. Also, good point.
I'll put it back at max.
Yeah. But over the next hour.
Yeah, we'll take an hour to have breakfast to get used to Asha being back. And you may want to update your screen name, Connor.
It's all right, I got it.
Yeah, I was going to.
Otherwise, it shows up all over the screen.
Live action.
Live action.
You do also have the various items that you had picked up yesterday. If you want to
Oh,
download
yeah.
those.
Sure.
Forgot all about those.
Okay. There is a red gemstone that seems to glint with a liquid inside it. There is a staff made of the reclaimed horn of a huge undead animal. A harpoon that has a chain attached to the handle and with forks that are shaped like lightning bolts. A staff and a long glaive with or pike, sorry, with a menacing ice spike that doesn't seem to melt.
Yeah, I might look at the harpoon.
You can. You have a look at this and you spend some time sort of studying it. This is a storm throw harpoon. It is a +3 weapon to attacking damage rolls. It has a chain attached to the handle you can use to retrieve it once it has been thrown as a bonus action. When you hit with a ranged attack, it deals an extra 1d8 lightning damage. In addition, it acts as a conduit for the sky's ferocious power. Immediately after you hit a creature with the trident, you can call down a bolt of lightning, forcing it and all creatures within 5 feet of it to make a dex save, DC 16. On a failed save, they take 6d10 lightning damage or half as much on a success. Creatures have disadvantage on the same throw if they are submerged in water or wearing metal armor. You are immune to the lightning damage caused by this effect, and the ability fails if the creatures are obstructed from the sky. Once you use that ability, you can't do so until the next dawn.
Cool. Cool. Yeah, lightning. Very nice. There anybody?
So it does also have an impale ability. So you can use your action to try and impale and pull a creature towards you. If the creature is no more than one size larger than you, make a ranged attack. If you hit, you can attempt to pull it closer to you by using an athletics check against their athletics check. You succeed, it pulls up to 20 feet closer to you.
Cool. I poke another thing.
Which other thing?
There was a star.
There are 2 staffs.
Poke 2 stars.
Okay, the first one is called the Shaden Staff. It is made from the reclaimed horn of a huge undead owl. When you are attuned to the staff, you have advantage on saving throws to retain your sanity against the influence of environmental effects, and it can also be used as a magical water staff. It has 15 charges for the following properties and regains 2d6 plus 3 charges daily at dusk. When you expend the last charge, you roll d20. On a 1, it disintegrates and lets off an audible, terrifying scream for about 300 feet. It has the features that you can do as an annihilation strike. When you hit with a melee attack with the staff, you can expend the charge to do an extra 1d10 points of necrotic damage. And whilst holding the staff, you can use one or more charges and use your action to cast Calm Emotions, Darkness, Dispel Evil and Good, Inflict Wounds at 3rd level, or Circle of Death. And the other staff.
This is a very cheery staff, guys. I would recommend for anybody who wants a brighter, sunnier day.
The other staff is, bear with me, I didn't copy that into my notes for some reason. Is a Staff of Striking. It is a +3 core staff, which has 10 charges. When you hit with a melee attack, you can expend up to 3 of its charges. For each one you spend, it does an extra 1d6 of force damage. And then it regains 1d6 plus 4 charges daily at dawn. When you spend the last charges, you roll a d20 and it becomes a non-magical core staff.
Unless I'm
Yes, there is the pike and the gem.
Yeah, why not? Let's go for the whole hog.
Sure, you're
Well, over halfway through.
you're an artificer. You do this shit.
Yay!
The
Hey, my drones kill stuff.
the pike.
Wow.
The pike.
That's how we're playing it.
The pike is a cold steel weapon from the Everglacier and is topped with a menacingly spike that never melts. It's a +1 weapon. The pike deals an extra 1d10 of cold damage when it hits. In addition, attacks from this weapon ignore resistance to cold damage. If you reduce a large or smaller creature to 0 hit points using this weapon, you can choose to encase it in ice. An encased creature is prevented from falling prone and is held in place by a shell of ice for 1 minute. Creature is unconscious, it does not make death saves whilst encased in the ice. And the ice has 12 AC 12, 20 hit points, immune to poison and psychic damage, and vulnerable to fire. If the encased creature he is healed or the ice is destroyed, the ice becomes release the creature. As an action, you can also do the Everglacier's Fury. Plunge the pike into the ground at your feet. When you do, the blade of the pike vanishes into the earth and summons up to 3 icy spikes from the ground nearby. You choose 3 different targets you can see within 20 feet of you. And an affected target must make a dex save, DC 16, or take 2d8 cold damage as the frozen spike erupts from the earth beneath it. They immediately recede into the ground after the effect, and the icy blade of the pike reappears.
And the gem.
The gem is impervious to attacks and damaging effects. It contains magic absorbed from countless other sources that it uses to overpower the requirements of certain item attunements. Whilst holding this gem against an item with an attunement requirements you don't meet, you can ignore that requirement, and attune to the item anyway. The item cannot be legendary or an artifact, and the gem fuses to the surface of the item and encases the area around it in a crystalline shell. So, for example, if you were to actually, that's not a good example because it doesn't apply because it's a legendary item.
Staff of the Woodlands, for example.
Staff of Woodlands, which is only attunable by a druid or a ranger, I think, then any spellcaster, in fact anyone, could attune to it.
Which I would, that might be useful for me now.
I pass the gem to Frederick.
Thank you.
Explain what it does at very high speed.
I will use it on the Staff of the Woodlands.
I would be interested in the striking staff. That's a weapon I'm familiar with, and I often have a vacant arm when I use the extra arms ability.
Do you have an additional attunement slot?
No, I would de-attune from my cloak of protection for it.
Okay. All right.
Does anyone object to me having the staff of striking?
No, as soon as it was being described, I thought,
One, bang, bang. Okay. Anything else you wish to do? Any other discussions? You have any other questions you would ask of Cedric or Asher at this point?
I'll still be handing breakfast around to people. I think, Lyra, did you ask a question about us traveling with you?
I did.
Yes. So, I mean, I kind of did this so that we were as capable as we could be for the things we will face. So, I can't speak for Asha, but my intention is to continue.
Oh yeah, well, give me another 30 minutes or so, and old right eel will reattach, and we'll be as good as gold.
Cedric, can you still turn into animals?
I can no longer do that. My powers are more around the healing persuasion now.
That's a big sacrifice. That was very important to you.
Yes, but it's more important, I think, that we have Asha with us. And I hope you all agree, and you don't think of me as being foolish.
Not at all.
No, it was your decision to make.
And Leela go.
Asha, do you agree?
I'll take it.
Well, it was me who made the deal with Odin, saying no more chances. I'm certainly grateful for what Cedric has done. We'll just have to see what happens from here on out.
We need to be very careful now.
Very.
You go over and hug Cedric.
I give Cedric a hug. And then I give Asher a hug.
I imagine Leela announces, like you were doing then.
Yeah. She's
Oh.
narrating it.
Oh,
I
thank
give
you.
Cedric a hug. And Asher.
It's probably more like you give their leg a hug. Oh no, you're taller,
Yeah.
aren't you?
Yeah, taller now.
Yeah.
A little bit.
So slightly. Thank you. It's very kind. There is probably one more thing I should mention. That is, we're not on a time limit in the sense of days or weeks, but Asher and I, once we have succeeded, hopefully, in our objectives, we'll then have to pass on.
No! In character. Out of character. Wow! Oh,
It wasn't my calculation, that was his one.
I was waiting for that. No.
So
Thanks.
we're on, whilst we have some more time, it is borrowed time.
Well, we better make use of what time we have left then.
Has Kafina come down yet?
Yeah, she just ended up joining the room and sitting quietly in the corner, not making eye contact with anyone.
Kafina, are you okay?
Why? Why does that matter? Why? Just whatever.
Well, it matters because we're all part of a team.
Yeah, but the team's falling apart, and you joking about how many times we've died, but everything's getting harder. Things are getting worse. I don't.
But we're still overcoming them, though.
Yeah, I'm just sick of people dying. I'm sick of dying. I'm sick of seeing you guys dying. I'm sick of all of it. It's just frustrating. It was all just. I don't really feel like talking now.
Okay.
That's okay.
Would you like some breakfast?
Yes, please.
I will put a plate of whatever I'm cooking. I can't remember what you said now. And I will leave.
Fish, potatoes.
Oh, yes, fish potatoes. That was it.
Yeah.
I leave Fee in the corner.
Yeah. It's a very similar thing to sort of shakshuka, except there isn't any eggs, so you've just got fish. Tomato base. It's fine.
I would then finally now sit down and consume some food myself.
breakfast and trying to adjust to this new situation. It is definitely unsettling. Uh, Last night you were trying to have to get used to the idea of Asha being dead. Now we have to get used to you being alive again. But then you will be dead again.
Think of it less of like that, more of I'm still dead, I'm just longing it out. I'm just being awfully dramatic about it. Just making death wait a little while longer.
It seemed to.
That does actually help. You are very determined.
I'm always happy to give people second chances, and so even when gods try to stop them having that, I will try find a way.
I suppose it helps that we are trying to save the gods. They are less likely to strike you down for your lack of respect.
I mean, like I say, it's just borrowed time, so hopefully we don't wind anyone up too much.
Asha, has Odin made his thoughts on this known to you yet?
Absolutely not.
Do I believe her?
Okay, so check.
18.
Asher does not seem to be lying. It seems to be that whether you seem to believe that what she's saying is true, that there's nothing that has come through from Odin.
As far as I'm aware, the deal is still active and has been upheld. We're just taking our time on delivering the product.
Okay.
I mean, I didn't have time to go and ask every single god if they were okay with it.
I assume he's not.
Well, there's only one way to find out.
What?
We move onwards and see if Odin, just kind of manifest himself.
So, just to clarify, is that everything we need to know? Or did you get some other super cool powers to make up for the no powers? Or kind of, because if we have to try and keep you both alive, I kind of want to know what we're dealing with, because I didn't realise Asha was on her last legs, and I would just like to know if there were any other surprises, guys.
If all of you knew that I was on my last legs, you would change the way that you fight or partake in battle. And let's just say that's just not the way that we operate.
So, as you may have noticed, I can now do things like fix Ash's arm, which I couldn't do before.
Okay.
You weren't of the right circle of magic to be able to do so.
I don't even know what the variation of that is.
If you'd not been able to do so, I would gladly have given Asha my extra arms.
Let's just say that I'm more of a. I'm essentially, my role is to shepherd eventually Asha to her grave. So basically,
Maybe
I
come up with a different word for that. That's ominous.
I mean, that was the title mentioned, and it's more like I say, I have more of a allegiance to the Raven Queen now. But yes,
it is
I can
done.
do
We should. It is done. We should just have to make the best of it.
I'm hoping that it will be for the better. And hopefully we don't get eaten by any sharks anytime soon.
Yes, that would be good.
Okay. So breakfast comes to the end, and you are clearing away the plates and getting them ready to go. What is your next course of action?
Poseidon.
Okay, how are you getting there?
Yes.
Because the water breathing wore off last night.
Yes.
I can no longer do that.
Oh, man!
I can go out into the water, but that's only one of us. I could go and look and see if there's someone that can help.
Oh, I think that's yes.
If you wouldn't mind, Foundling.
That would be useful.
So we either want Triton or Poseidon or someone who can get the attention, or someone who can enable the rest of you to breathe underwater again.
Or someone that can get us to excuse me, Poseidon's audience chamber.
Okay. The Foundling will go out and attempt to point someone from that list.
Make an investigation check.
I find a shark. I said,
You fight a shark. You find the dead body of the shark cow that you fought previously. Okay. So you find the dead body of the shark. You spend about 5 minutes trying to talk to the starfish. On the off chance,
yes.
On the off chance they might be able to, a passing seahorse does look at you inquisitively, and you try and converse with the seahorse, and the seahorse just sort of wanders off. Eventually, after about 2 hours of trying to find someone important, you eventually stumble across the temple where Poseidon holds court and where Triton was previously. And you swim up to where the guards are. You feel grateful that there is at least some sort of equalized pressure in this city, because previously when you'd swum at this depth, it was bad.
Yes.
But right now, equalized pressure makes it okay. You swim up, and guards, there's Holt, who's calling?
Foundling Flotsam as a representative of the Wandering Stars.
All right, yes. Lord Poseidon is waiting for you. Please step through.
Okay, I go in.
Swim through. Door open, and you see that in the large reception chamber there is now a massive war table that has been conjured and set. That Poseidon, a very tall, well muscular, Jason Momoa in Aquaman-like figure, but with a sort of well-groomed beard, sort of down to about chin level. He's sort of standing there looking, tattoo, sort of Maori-style tattoo down his arms that look like individual scales, that sort of continues across the chest and sort of meets in the center where it joins into a trident, where he stood a good 20 feet tall, looking at this war mat with Triton and a few other people that you assume are his lead generals, including what looks to be a literal seahorse, as in the front end of a horse, the back half of some sort of fish.
Marbles.
Hippocampus.
Yeah, it's a campfire. Sort of sat there. Poseidon looks up as you come through and says, "Ah, you must be one of the heroes that I was expecting. Come forward."
Okay. Forwards.
Stack will stand for. I understand that you are the land dwellers who defeated the demon Achilles. You have my thanks. I've heard from my son that you are seeking the aspect of several of my kin to defeat those who dare challenge the gods on the surface.
That is so.
I approve the strategy. It is good wisdom. Clearly from my niece has guided you in that way. I see you wear her mark. And so I shall provide my aspect to it, to those that you have already gathered. In addition, Triton, in terms of his son, has offered his services to act as an honor guard for those who are sailing from Jorvik. Though you may want to let them know of his incoming presence, otherwise they may attack him. That would not be good to attack your own guard, surely.
We shall let them know when we're able to return to the surface.
Good. Good. Well, and he reaches up and sort of touches the trident tattoo at his throat and pulls it forward, leaving this sort of sea green gemstone that he then fires towards you. You catch it with your natural monk-like reflexes.
I thank you, Lord Poseidon. I would also beg one more favor from you, if I may.
Who can ask?
During the battle, one of our group fell, slain heroically, fighting for her life. We believed it would not be possible to restore her, but overnight one of us was able to find a way. But because of that, they no longer have the magic that enabled the rest of us to travel underwater and survive here. Do you have some magic or someone who could assist us to allow
How long
us
do you
to travel through?
How long do you intend to stay below the surface?
I believe our business here is mostly concluded, unless you have further need for our assistance.
I do not. If you are remaining below here, then we could get one of our mages to give you the ability to breathe for the next 8 hours, but unless you are just returning home, I suggest you do so.
Now that I know you have been so gracious as to grant us your favor, I will have to discuss with the rest of my group our next steps.
Very well.
If your mage would be so kind as to accompany me.
I will send a messenger to go and send one to your abode.
Thank you. Do I get the feeling I've been dismissed? Yeah.
Yeah. Busy doing war here.
Yes. Just quietly swim out and with the mage and back to the rest of the path. So.
Yeah, the message is being sent for the mage, so they will turn up when they are good and ready. You get a sense. Whilst that's been going on, what have the rest of you been doing, if anything? That's about 2 hours or so.
Second breakfast.
Not a lot.
See more life with Asha.
Not a lot. Trying not to move.
Trying not to die.
Sitting quietly.
Pensively staring out a window.
Is there any way to make Asha feel less groggy after death?
You can. I believe in the past we have done greater restoration as...
Those are the words I wanted you to say.
Those two exact words.
Do you have diamond dust?
Yes.
Yes, shitloads.
So much.
No. You have diamonds, but you have diamond dust.
I have 2 lots of 100 gold's worth of diamond dust,
That's handy.
Plus,
Yeah. We
and
got
then I
this.
have. Come.
I have some diamond dust, I think.
plus
I've
playing
got
that,
450 pounds of raw diamond.
yeah, we have diamond. we have Asha.
Oh, I don't
Well,
know.
that's another point. Asha is currently not wearing her equipment because you guys took it off her.
In which case we return it.
So you can attune to items as you so wish, Asha.
Sure.
Whichever ones you want to.
Would Fee mind helping me try and fix a bit of my drone? She's looking a little battered. I know Fee's a bit sad. I'm going to go and see if she just needs her mind taking off of things and we fix things together.
When you ask her, she says, "Yeah, sure." She's obviously her mind's off elsewhere. So
Okay. Droney wasn't as smashed as previous before. It was sort of, was it Drone out that was down?
Journey's dead.
Droney's dead. I know that. You need to fully damage.
I need to.
Oh, okay. Over the,
Journey's the
over the course of the next couple of hours, you are able to restore Drone out to maximum. I'm just sort of all doing that. Foundling returns.
So, when are we going to speak to Simon?
I actually found my way there. That was the only place I could find someone, and I got the feeling he wants to deal with things then and there. He seemed to be in the middle of war planning. But I return with good news. He did grant us a fragment of his essence. Hold up for them to see.
As you pull it out, it sort of floats in the water. It sort of pulls away from your hand slightly and pulses a little bit. Leela,
Sorry.
you feel something from the pendant that is around your neck, the hidden depths. The platinum pendant. It doesn't pull, but it feels cold. And like there's a little crackle of energy. The trident sort of floats through into the kitchen where Leela and Kafina are sat, tending to drones. And it just touches against that platinum cage that surrounds the sea pearl. And it flashes. The pendant itself returns to Foundling's hand, and you look down at the necklace, and the pendant has gone from being a sort of a spiral cage to being very similar to like a crabbing net or a grabbing box in its sort of shape. And the pearl inside has spiked outwards like a sea urchin and is contained and trapped within that. And you every so often you sort of feel a bump and it just sort of touches against it and you feel that little spark of electricity. Seemingly from defeating Achilles and gaining Poseidon's favor, the hidden depths has exalted.
Ooh.
What does exalted mean?
Basically, there is all of the shit that it could do, plus a whole load of extra shit right on top of it.
So it's not the beyond stuff they'll put it on there, but what it can it's fine, I'll do it later.
Do it later.
What it can do, you can cast Armor of Agathis as a 6th level spell.
Whoa!
As an action, you can do it twice per day, and once you've done so, you cannot do so until the next dawn. You gain proficiency in investigation checks, and when you make an investigation check, your proficiency bonus is doubled. So you have expertise in investigation. And you gain a swim speed equal to your walking speed, and you can cast the water walk and water breathing spells at will. You're also resistant to cold and lightning damage.
What? Damn! Wearing it.
Whilst you're attuned.
Oh, wow.
that's a long shopping list.
That is
Wow.
I mean, all
Whoa,
of
I
these
can't believe
items can do a lot of shit.
I can't believe all the cool stuff that item can do now.
I know,
Yeah.
right? It's not like you
I
could
could
revive someone once a day.
I wasn't here, so I was just blagging it.
Whoa, my God. Guys, I feel like I can, investigate more. That should get me a magnifying glass. I'm going to look around for everything.
As Shirleyla,
Laura,
Sherlock
fun
Holmes.
fact about the water walking spell. If you cast it while you're underwater, shoot up to the surface really fast.
So maybe don't do that.
we'll say for the purpose of this, magic effect means that you don't get the bends, because otherwise you would get to the surface and die immediately.
Instead,
You wouldn't even
shoot-
get to the surface.
No, you would get like 20 feet and then die.
Yeah,
Your
you-
lungs would just explode.
Yeah,
no,
No water walking underneath the water.
unless you really need to get out
Unless
of
we need to
water.
get out there.
Unless
You meant to use it on your enemy.
no. You don't die from the bends. You die because you shoot up so fast you launch out the surface of the water and then crash back down on the surface.
And because it's you now walk on it, it's solid, so you just hit it like concrete.
I mean, if you drop onto water to a certain extent, you hit it like concrete.
Yeah.
You get at least
Great surface tension. There. That is now. Those are now things you can do.
I also have this feeling that I can cast water stuff, guys. I think we need to get out of here.
Okay. There is a maid. That was my other bit of good news. They were willing to send a maid over to. And
At this point, there was a knock at the door. There was a knock at the door as you say that.
I open the door.
There is a big giant pufferfish.
You look like someone I may have had a dream about.
I've been told that you need someone to cast water breathing on you.
You don't sound like someone I've had a dream about, so I hope it.
That
Like,
would be greatly
No, it's not.
appreciated.
It's nothing to be sorry about. It's a good thing.
Yes, that would be greatly appreciated. The rest of the group lack my ability to breathe underwater.
Okay. I'm going to have to stay here because I can't go in there. I'm a fish.
Yes.
That's it.
If the rest of you could sort of crowd round.
Crowd around the door.
Okay. You just watch as the pufferfish just goes, just inflates up. Okay, you can do it now. Goodbye. And it just turns around and swims off in its round form.
It's so familiar. I think I know this Mrs. Puff.
She sounds lovely.
It was very weird to read that one. There was a starfish and a sponge as well.
And a pineapple under the sea.
No, no pineapple. No, there.
Anyway,
Wait, who am I talking to?
Yes.
Apollo says,
Yes, Poseidon does not need any further aid from us, and we have what we came here for. Do we want to explore here or get out? We do need to get a message to the fleet at some point because Triton is going there to act as an honor guard, so we need to make sure they don't attack him by mistake.
That
I
probably
can-
seems like the best thing to do immediately.
I mean, I can deal with that. Yes, I do. I will send a message to the fleet.
okay, who are you sending a message to?
Yes. The person in the fleet who I've always contacted because I can't remember their name.
No, Chieftain Ramsay,
That one.
the person who turned up yesterday to take Asher's soul away.
Sure.
Oh, uh-huh.
Them. Her.
Mhm.
Them.
It is
they.
her. It's her.
I'm never too sure right now. And I will obviously start with the word mushroom
Hmm.
because it's just the second thing to do. Mushroom, just to let you know, the god Triton is coming to give the fleet a guard. Please don't attack him.
Message comes back. Understood. Not seen Asha recently, have you?
Asha.
I don't have to respond because it was my spell.
Oh, you don't have a message that comes back in the head. No, that was my spell. I wanted a response.
Killatar can't get to the phone right now. You're
Going
calling
into a tunnel.
to us.
I'm going into a watery tunnel.
I will say the last I saw of Asha was when you came to collect her yesterday.
Make a deception check at disadvantage.
It's alright, I'm alright then. It's alright, I'm alright then. 19.
19. That's a pause. And you just hear a single word come back. That is all.
Give me the phone. Yes, so.
God's sake, take your speaker!
I've killed you once, I'll kill you again.
I will. Oh,
say to everyone, but particularly Asha, that I've just had this conversation with Ranveig, and the response was, I think
My response is also, you contacted Ranveig?
I needed to contact someone, and I couldn't think of anyone else.
She may be very upset.
I mean, she's going to be upset with whatever happens, so
She literally had one job.
Well, she'll have to do the job again. I don't know.
And you denied it.
So I did nothing.
She also has the job of
magic happens.
She also has the job of looking after the fleet, and we've just made that easier.
One was a job that we asked her to do, and one was her God asked her to do it.
Well,
Did she do the job exactly just she did her job, but then something happened after
then
it?
another god overruled that god, and
I'm sure the Raven Queen overruling Odin will go down swimmingly.
I mean, out of character, she should just blame it on another god. You know, say she gave your soul to Hermes, but must not delivered it properly.
evidence.
I'm terrified of going to the surface right now for fear of being struck by something godly. Or Cedric, for all this reason now, because the weakest part of me is Cedric.
I'm sure everyone will understand and be happy and okay about everything that's happened.
I don't think we could stay down here forever, anyway.
2 months ago. Would Leela know that the gods can't erase what kind of interfere what other gods do?
Make a religion check.
Whilst this religion check is happening, before I forget, I'm running out of high level slots, but I'm going to pop a 6th and a 5th level slot and use my 2 lots of diamond dust to put 2 greater restorations into Asha, which I think is one for each negative one, isn't it?
Correct.
Yeah,
So you're
that's
now at
right.
a -2 to all your d20s.
21.
There are stories that gods who interfere with mortals cannot have their effects reversed or undone by another god. It seems to be whatever Cedric has negotiated with the Raven Queen is a loophole in that Asha essentially has gone from a timeline of a straight line and then death, has now got an extra loop in it that is attached to Cedric somehow. So technically she died, but just on the way to Valhalla, she got caught and entwined.
Stolen.
So
So
basically, she was traveling down the road to Valhalla, and all of a sudden it was road closed. Follow this diversion.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, the
And
sign
that-
is weirdly constructed out of
And
mushrooms.
other
That-
gods
Or as
can't
Cedric comes out of a bush and just rugby tackles
Just-
Asha. Just
Just grabs her by the back of the neck and just yanks her.
Nope.
Now I've just got, as he's walking around, just a little cab pulls up alongside Asha with a big fake mustache. I'll take you where you need to be.
Hello.
Crazy taxi.
Valhalla.
Yes, ready to join the hunt.
He's done up in a van and he just jumped out, put over your head, and shot you in the butt.
Moose attack.
Asha had no say in it. Cedric just went.
Yeah, I found out about all of this at the same point you all did. So
We could
I
tell.
was specifically asked Luke to not involve me in anything. I have had this. I've had this wizard ready to play for like levels now.
No, I will not let Asha die.
Really cool wizard, guys. It's got a lot of backstories. I keep having to fucking add to it.
Next campaign. Next campaign.
It won't work in the next campaign. From everything else, he's built it up at level 50 and 60. Oh, well. So yes, you guys doing
I
now?
relay that to try and give some comfort to Asher and other people. Be like, kind of, the gods kind of can't really interfere with each other, so you kind of think that, well, Asher's going to let sometimes Odin will just have to wait a little longer. It's not really breaking the rules. It's just wibbly wobbly. Time to wine.
Odin will just have to wait.
Odin's at a bus stop. And,
The Raven Queen's decision. I'm just stating what I see. Now, I'm not saying Odin has to wait and do whatever he wants, but the Raven Queen's done that and he can't interfere with her. So...
Not directly, no.
Not directly. I'm just trying to help here, Kalatar. Shush.
Well, moving on. So we've got all but one godly boon, power, favor thing. Where are we getting the last one?
How many more do we need?
Gaia.
Hiya.
Okay.
And I don't know how to reach her.
Weren't the hunters? Didn't the hunters have a base at Gaia's Desire? Is there any connection there?
The Orionid's headquarters was in the mountains at Gaia's Desire, but that was the site of one of the invasions from the air elemental plane.
Everyone except for Foundling and Leela make a history check.
History.
Yep.
Ooh! Sorry.
Or religion, if it is better for you.
Oh. No.
No.
Oh. One of those weird things. Religion, intelligence stats, main religious caster, wisdom.
Yeah.
Not
Hang
yet. Oh, no.
I'm proficient in religion.
Okay, Kaltar.
29.
29. Cedric.
8.
Kafina.
8.
Lyra.
8.
Asha.
11.
So Kalatar,
Yes.
you know, because no one else did, knew anything at all. There is on Fioros, there is Gaia's Desire and Gaia's Vengeance, which are the chasm and mountain range, sort of southern tip. As I say, where the wind plane or the airplane cut through and attacked the Orionid Hall. The other place you know that is heavily connected to Gaia is within the Great Expanse. And that sunken temple where you lost, well, most of you lost your lives. Lyra got sent away, Kafina was not there in the first place. And R2
ran away.
R2 ran away, and you lost Vesit.
Yeah.
That is the only known temple of Gaia that you're aware of.
I will relay this information that has just come to my brain.
We just remembered it.
That's a lead.
How are we for time?
There's what, That's why I try and remember the timeline that you've done. So we're back. I think of the. You had 4 weeks initially. It was then extended by a bit because of the killing of the 2 visionaries that you did. So you're probably looking at been about 3.5 weeks since you started.
About 4 days.
Been about 3.5 weeks since you started. 4 days from the original deadline, but because you killed 2 of the visionaries, it slowed things down.
Really? For sure?
You killed the water and the earth.
Oh.
You know that. I don't think you went for any others
No.
because you sent the Legion went after the demon, went for the abyss, and they died. And then no other progress has been made on any of the others.
So, do we want to go and try and find Besset again? And maybe that horrible creature that was within that temple?
We know he's not there anymore. Because Ralakor joined a different faction.
True.
So if it was serving as a base, there may be something else there now.
Ralakor was serving the Admiral. I've forgotten his name. Tidal Surge, and was hiding from him in the driest place he could find. Ralakor was a very, very unstable creature.
I can definitely agree with that statement.
My point is, I'm not sure we can be certain he's not still there.
Well, very few things would make me happier in this world currently than killing it.
And from the sound of it, you did encounter them a while ago. Presumably, you've grown in strength and abilities since then.
About 8 times.
Quite some.
We've gained a bit.
It's lucky we're the only ones that level up.
Why did you say that?
If it's a somewhere you've been before, presumably we can return to the airship and then travel there.
We certainly can.
The other thing we could do is ask Orion if there was anywhere in the cavern system that might be good for trying to communicate with Gaia. He spent a lot more time there than we did.
That's a good idea as well. Maybe we could spend today consulting with Orion and preparing, because although you're looking somewhat restored, Asha, you still do not look at peak condition. Maybe after another night's rest, you'll be better.
I have used quite a lot of my power in getting her to this point too.
We don't underestimate your power, Cedric.
Can we remember where Orion is currently?
That's what I'm trying to do.
We left Orion near the keep to maintain and look after the people we brought back there.
Yeah, I think he ended up at the Grove briefly, and then he went across to the people, the refugees, to your keep. Sorry, in Nebula Keep.
Can always go and pick him up.
Okay.
All
He's still...
Where did you leave? Where did you park? Did you park it?
Verblaine.
You left it in Verblaine.
Yes.
We always park in Verblaine.
Yes.
We have the executive parking there.
It's got the Tesla charging point.
Yeah.
Free.
Level
And we just like to hook it up there.
The multi-story. No,
Yeah.
it's
The top of a multi-story.
No, multi-story blimp parking. It's just a load of hangers stacked on top of each other.
We come back. There's 6 parking tickets on it. It's cheaper to pay the fines than to actually pay the parking. So it's fine.
It's been clamped.
Just been tied to a tree. Okay.
Let me move the rod is through it.
Yeah. Oops. So, how are you getting there?
Yes.
Right.
Doesn't Kathina have transporty magic? Isn't that why we leave it there? So there's some kind of circle.
The teleportation
Yes.
circle.
You're right,
Yeah.
Foundling. I can teleport us to the circle in the city if you want. Are we all ready to go?
Unless there's anything anyone
Oh.
wants to do down here. There's some starfish and sea horses outside you can talk to. They don't talk back, but you can talk to them.
Oh.
I'll take another bite of fish and
Okay.
potato.
Okay.
I get up like an old man, like
Okay.
using Shatterfang as a.
I'm ready to go now.
Surely, old woman.
Okay. Kathina draws out the teleportation circle. How many of those components do you have left?
7 according to my inventory. So yeah.
Okay.
Because yeah, last time I was getting really low. I was down to 2, so I just bought a ton more.
You take the spell components, you draw out a circle, step through it, heading back to the Blaine. So step through the portal. Again, surprising, the Elvish clerk is there. It's like, oh, she goes. Anyway, back through the city and appear into your blimp, unless there's anything else you wish to do in the Blaine before you go to the blimp.
As people are getting on the blimp, I'm gonna be like, right, well, I think I'm gonna go a different way. I mean, I'm sure you guys can pull off this next one without me. How about we say we meet back at the forge after this at Hephaestus's forge. If you need me to come get you and pick you up, you can ask, but otherwise you guys can have the blimp.
Where are you going with me?
I'm just going to go work on something.
That sounds ominous.
It's not ominous, just something I feel will help. Maybe, I don't know. I mean,
You need some space, some time.
No, I'm just really frustrated and I need a new tool to make me feel less frustrated. So I'm going to go build a new tool. Yes, I know how that's done.
You are terrible. You are terrible. You are terrible.
I don't like cut what I'll say, like depending on whether or not it'll be innuendo. It just comes out however.
We really do need an innuendo counter.
Yeah. It's only innuendo because we're all so good at twisting everything. It's like any word, half of the words in the English language could be innuendo.
Yeah. My mind is terrible.
Ted.
You know that we can always help you, Fee, if you need it.
I do. I understand. Just yeah. I mean, we're low on time. I don't really help much in combat. You guys will be able to do the next one, the last one, on your own, I'm sure, and we can meet back at Hephaestus's. And hopefully my new tool will be ready, and we can then hopefully get all this shit that we've been lumped with behind us.
If you feel it is best for you.
I think it'll be best for our mission. Well, I mean, I hope so, unless this is a horrible mistake and me not being with you on this next one will cause you all to die and I'll regret it forever and yeah, stuff like that. But who fucking knows? Look what happens, hey? Asha was dead, Asha's not dead, random shit just happens. What the fuck's the point of having a plan?
Can I insight, please, and just check the... I mean, she's obviously upset, but is she insane?
Make an insight.
That is a valid question. I'm not sure how to answer it.
Make an insight.
25.
25.
She's not like mentally broken, but she's very stressed and very like jittery and anxious. Like as she says this again, you can kind of see her fingers are just like it's just another, shake adding to the stack of Fee's life since we all got together. So yeah, she's
Didn't start out well, so
yeah, I know, right?
okay, that's fine. It was more of a is it safe to let her go alone almost?
Is she about to go rogue and join the bad guys and be like, yeah, blow up the world? I fucking hate the world now.
Okay, good. Okay.
Yeah.
I think that helps me. So
yeah.
I don't know. I've been mulling this over all night. Would you guys mind though? I mean, it's probably only going to be for a day or an evening that we're apart and we'll meet up again in no time. It's up to you. I don't know.
If that's what you need to do, Fee, you should do it.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're the only one that can judge the right path for yourself.
Yeah, right path. Like anyone can fucking know that. Well, yeah, if you're all good,
it starts with a step.
Yes.
You feel you need to take a step and do this. That's the beginning.
Thank you.
It will be fine.
Yeah. We'll see. But yes, anyway, this is very uncomfortable. I feel like a massive asshole. I'm going to say bye and quickly walk away. Bye.
May the spirit of Hephaestus help you.
Is Kafina walking to Spartalfane?
No, she was going to go back to the teleportation circle, which should be in the major school, and get someone to send her there. Hopefully, if not, then she's going to have someone cast a traveling spell on her. She's still got a fair bit of money. I'm sure she can pay one mage to crack one spell slot on her.
Sure. You managed to find someone from the crafting sector who is happy to at least give you directions or send you off to the Spartalfane with an accompaniment, just to say that you are looking to make use of the resources there.
I mean, yeah, if they want to give me an assistant, sure.
No, they're giving you a note, or someone's coming with you to say, basically say, this isn't someone who has just appeared with the teleportation circle and is going to kill you.
I was about to say, oh, it's the halfling thing, and I'm like, no, I'm a drow now, so it's still basically the same, though. Don't worry, they're not evil.
You get sent through to Spartalfane and begin your search for the people that you are looking for. The rest of the party, sorry, go on.
I was just going to say, you already know what I'm going there to do, so we don't need a bore.
I do, but I'm being deliberately cryptic. But
we're not there. We don't know.
Go ahead and make for me. This is going to be, you are proficient in Smith tools, yes or not?
I don't have it in my proficiency, so I'm going to guess no.
Okay. So in which case you're going to be rolling a d20 plus. First of all, it's going to be your strength modifier.
That's bad. That's a -2.
With advantage, because you can hire someone to do it for you if you so.
I thought this was going to be more research because I'm not actually building it now. I'm building it back at the forge. You're
doing it in Hephaestus' place.
That's what I assumed. I'd need the full day to get a good amount of research done, and Hephaestus' forge is the only place I could melt the materials.
I misunderstood. Well, I mean, there are forges in Spartalfane. You can the diamond has to be melted in Hephaestus' forge. But
I mean, if I can get it done before then, it saves time. Yeah.
Okay, we'll say let's make an investigation check to find any schematics.
Oh wait, this I can actually roll because on D&D Beyond. Yay! It didn't roll badly. 22.
22. Okay. You spend your time looking through some of the various paperwork that has been done and going to the crafting library. There have been similar things that have been attempted that have been used in the past. So it's not a brand new invention, which does cut down on your construction time.
Cool.
Because there are people who are still alive that have made something like this before. So you are able to sort of research them and potentially go and find a smith who has done this before. At least one of the dwarfs has done this before. It does take a while to construct. Like the recommendation on it, because of the heating and cooling of the metals and getting them into the right malleable shape and the quenching process and making sure that they are resilient enough to be utilized fully, does have a construction time of at least 7 days. Because that also includes the added bonus of adding the enchantment into it to make it have that additional property that we discussed to accelerate.
It doesn't. This is all science based, though. It doesn't need an enchantment.
It does. It needs an enchantment to be able to convert. If you want to have it just pure,
that's what I was thinking. I mean, with the world we've got.
If you want to have it just pure, then it wouldn't be as strong. But if you wanted to build it to have that additional projection so that you can convert, I mean, you still have to enchant.
Oh, the spell. Yes. Okay, to generate. Okay, I just assumed I'd just pick a different lightning spell. All right.
Because those, in order to focus that energy into it, you would have to enchant it so that it can be used as a conduit for it.
I thought just conductive metals.
Yeah, but you're still then firing out. It wouldn't necessarily work the same way because of the way that the magic is programmed. You'd have to channel it through and create a focus to essentially do that.
Okay. All right.
But the enchantment time can be reduced. So the physical construction takes about 3 days because of the working of the metals. The enchantment process you could reduce down if you had more mages and more people working on it.
I mean, I will throw money at it to make it happen as quick as possible. So,
as I say, it will take 3 days to construct the whole thing.
All right.
As you sort of go through the research of it. As you're off doing that, the rest of the party, you get on the blimp and fly it across to your keep and come down to take the rest of that is where we will take our break, and we'll come back to it in about 15 minutes. Come back at 9, and we'll see where the story goes from there. So, thank you for joining us thus far. We will see you shortly. He said, hopefully, Connor may not take that.
Should be fine.
We flip?
Oh, yeah.
Close. And we're back.
Smooth as butter.
But it's all right because we're not live. So
no. So
hey, look. If anyone else can find a better way, hit me up.
Yeah, Ross, can you just go over to Connor and just give him lessons?
Yeah, I'll try.
Yeah, YouTube is just letting me down, really.
It's a vital journey.
Well, if I just set up a way I can remote onto your machine, Connor, and I can just control it from there.
Yeah, I have that remote too. I just didn't press the button.
You couldn't survive help desk.
I was looking at it, Ross. I just didn't press the zoom. I hit live and I was like, yep, nailed it. No, I did not.
So you guys, now flying over Cathedralus, arrive at Nebula Keep. You can see that the construction is actually coming on quite rapidly in Vanthalda. It seems to be that whatever they are doing it with magic. So they seem to have the various raw materials, and then a series of mages are just throwing out spells, and the wood is coming together to create walls and roofs and all sorts of things. And then the soldiers and various other people are helping put it together. So it seems to be that there are quite a few more standing structures than when you were last here, which was about 2 days ago.
It's the advanced version of fabricate, prefabricate.
Exactly. Just
Fabricate,
flat
but fast.
Just flat pack. You head into your keep. What are you doing?
By the way, I'm wearing my armor at all times to hide the fact that I am on death's door at the moment.
Okay.
Helm on and everything.
We proceed.
Yes.
Who to?
Lyra thought it would be worth coming here to talk to Ulrion. Yeah.
Okay. You sort of enter. The wizard that has taken up residence in there is there and sort of waves at you as you come past. And sort of sweater. Good to see you. You're quite all right. It's been a while since we've had a conversation. You still enjoying the payment you're giving me?
Oh, yes. Well, I quite honestly sometimes forget that I'm paying you. It's that enjoyable.
Yes, quite. Well, it's been good for me. I get to cast the spell once a day and everything is set in stone, and then I can get on with my research and my reading. I've just come across this most wonderful spell that can transform a humanoid creature into another humanoid creature to the aspect that they want. It's fantastic. Some form of transmogrification. It's wonderful.
Are you on about the simulacrum spell by any chance?
No. The actual physical transformation. If someone is feeling that they are not quite in their own body, if they've got body dysmorphia or gender dysmorphia or anything like that, I can turn them now from one form to another.
This isn't my real form. I was in another form beforehand. Is that the sort of thing you're talking about?
Yes, quite. If you wanted to, say you weren't a goblin, you were a gnome. Well, yes, I could transform you into a gnome if you wanted to. It would take me about an hour and I need a bathtub and some clay, but apart from that... I've got the clay. Sorry?
That's a strange way of asking someone to mud vessel with you.
No, not at all. It's a fully proper spell. They just need to be encased. There's some gem dust that needs to be crushed within the damp clay, equal to the weight of the target, and it gets all consumed. And it doesn't kill you either. It's fabulous.
Can you turn me back to the way I was?
Do you know what you looked like before?
I should bloody hope so.
Do you have anything like a picture or an illusion that you could show me, and then I can make sure that you turn into that form?
Leader, do you want me to draw a picture?
Drawing, so if anyone would like to, that would be great.
I mean, Cedric does have the ultimate drawing version as his own racial trait.
Yes.
Although you have apparently lost your nose.
His companion has took it.
Yes.
Oh.
Got your nose. That's worked. I'm not sure I could work with that.
Okay.
Blur it for me.
Maybe if I do this,
and I will pop my disguise self.
Mm-hmm. And you basically become a
very large
5-foot gnome.
Yeah.
Gnome.
But much smaller, obviously.
Like that, but kind of the size I am now?
Yes. I absolutely know. Now, this is going to be a very personal question. I apologize. How much do you weigh?
Never ask a lady her weight.
I know, but I have to. The spell requires it.
I don't even know if I would have written that.
I think we've got the average weight of a goblin is somewhere around 35 pounds, something like that.
Go for it.
Well, they're not heavy. They're really not heavy. I mean, someone can look it up. Someone will correct me probably. It's in the internet. It's on the internet.
It's in the internet.
It's in one of the
No, there's someone within the internet.
It's in Volos somewhere. I just don't know what it is off the top of my head. But yes, I can do that. I have plenty of clay, and you've got the gems that I can press within it. Then yes, I can cast this. I can do it today. been looking to experiment on someone.
Have you done this on someone else?
No, that's the joy of it. No one wanted to.
I mean, we're kind of on our way to do a thing. Maybe we'll come back to this, because I gotta go and help my friends.
But don't you want to help them as a gnome?
You miss being a gnome.
Right, good. And he just grabs you by the arm and just plonks you in this sort of metal tub. Okay, 40 and 80 pounds. There you go. 65. Right, don't worry. And he just starts. He comes back and he's got this bag of clay that just starts pouring on top of you.
Do you want me to stop this, Lena, or are you happy to go ahead?
I mean, I don't mind. I kind of do, but at the same time, we've got things to do.
If it goes wrong, I can always kill you and then bring you back again.
How long will this take?
An hour.
We've probably got an hour while we talk to Elrion.
Yeah, I was going to say, I was going to turn around and suggest to Lyra that we go and find Orion.
I think that's a good idea. Let's go find Elrion.
I will stay with Leela just in case.
Okay, in case you need to kill her.
So we'll found
I'm also the muse for the sculpture.
Yeah, that's true. Big gnome. Okay, you are buried within the clay, and right, here we go. And he sits down across his legs and starts mumbling out of his spell book, leaving you with a straw that is just poking out of the clay so you can breathe.
Did they put Vaseline on so in order to be able to make it easy to take the thing off?
Well, no, because it's clay, it just gets consumed. It gets absorbed into the pores. It's very good for the skin. Yes. What? So done? Good.
Yes. I agree, Dom.
Definitely.
What did you say, Dom? None of us heard that.
I didn't say anything.
Oh. Sounds like that's it.
Ghost.
Oh, no. Okay then. Ghost in your microphone. Okay, so Kalatar and Lyra, you're going to go find Orion.
Yeah.
Both of you make investigation checks.
Because this is the best use of our time.
And standing around a bath.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yes, Kalatar.
22.
Lyra?
24.
Okay. Not too much difficulty. Two of you are able to find Orion. He is busy helping with some of the construction, making a look at some of the plans and helping, making sure that they get the right style and all that sort of fun stuff. He sees you coming, his sister, and he turns and sort of lifts his arms as if to embrace you and then just lowers them slightly. He's not sure.
Maybe when I'm not wearing the armor. Can't be comfortable.
No, of course. How are you? It's been a while.
It's been a very stressful few days, one way and another. But anyway, how are you?
Oh, fine. It's been good to try and get some form of redemption with all these individuals that need help. It's been quite gratifying.
I can see that. Anyway, we have some business and could use some information you may have.
All right, should we go somewhere private?
Where are we at the moment?
Out in the middle of Van Falber.
Yes, let's find a quiet corner.
Okay, you sort of head off towards the sort of southwest coastline, where the work is sort of going on other parts of it. He sort of takes you and sits down, sort of looking out into the Bay of Yggdrasil. So, what can I do with you? Do for you?
That's a question for another time.
It's my sister, man. Stop it. Anyway, what can I do for you?
Sorry. We need to try and communicate with Gaia.
Okay.
And in order to do so, we are planning on going to the Temple of Gaia in.
Yes. Yes. Right. Okay.
Just wondered if you had any information on where in that large complex might be a good place to try.
Well, Ralacor was rather particular in choosing that area as his domain. It has one entrance and exit, really, apart from the big hole that drops out the bottom.
Big hole that drops out the bottom.
Oh, right, you don't know this. When you fought with Ralacor, there is a lake that is within the desert, a sort of a deep oasis, and that drains off into a passageway that leads through the Underdark. It all takes out to sea. It's where we drop a lot of various things.
Bodies.
Yes, it's where the bodies were dropped.
That explains it.
That's one way, is to go in from there and come up, or there is the front door that was partially buried. I don't know what situation it is now. I imagine the kobolds have kept it fairly clear.
Nice. With kobolds.
You don't
There
know
are a number of warrens that sort of move through the area. We go through certain parts where I think your friend Asha crawled through a couple of them, if I remember rightly. It was a while ago.
Seems like a lifetime ago.
You're not thinking of taking the fight to him, do you?
Who, Radical?
Yes.
Do you think Ralacor is there still?
Most likely. I know he'd been transferred from one branch to the other. You told me so much. And I don't think he would be of any use. If he is being used as the eyes for the cults, he's better off somewhere isolated where he can't be blinded, so to speak.
All the more reason to go there then.
Kill Ralacor?
I imagine he's probably more powerful than he was when we last fought him. But we are considerably more powerful than we were then too. And if we haven't got a million kobolds getting in the way.
I don't know what he has in terms of his reinforcements there now, but it's fair to assume he'll still have his own minions. He was unhappy when you killed his basilisks, I seem to recall.
Well, we jabbed him in one eye, he shot us with the rest of them. Eye for an eye, so to speak.
He killed 4 of you?
Yes.
Okay.
Hence the want to repay the favour.
Well, I won't stop you if that's what you're going to do.
Well,
I wouldn't recommend it, but...
The only other way we can think of getting the favour that we need is to go via Gaia's desire. And given that that was an entry point for one of the planes, it's probably best not to go there.
I would have thought not, no.
So we are unfortunately left with very little choice.
I mean, you could certainly try to go Gaia's desire, but I don't know much about it. I'm sorry, I couldn't help you there.
But you don't know of anywhere within within that would be a more specific place for trying to commune with Gaia?
Nothing more. I'm sorry, this isn't. It's not my plane of existence, really. This isn't. I don't know much about the deities of this realm. I don't follow any particular being.
This is understandable.
I mean, I can advise you on passageways that might help you get through undetected. I know he has the small passageway that leads to his treasure room. And there are a few other things in there that
Treasure
might
room.
help. Where you keep statues,
I'll
his
say
trophies.
where we found the statues.
Yes, the gem statues. A lot of people there.
Well, that will be very useful if you can, certainly.
And takes out a piece of parchment and just starts sketching to the best of his memory. He hands it over to you. This is as good as I can think.
Is it just a stick figure?
No, it is a full map of the cavern system that was within the temple.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't find it for a second.
I was like, all I could see was Ross going. Well, I think that's all the information
Yes, thank
you need. How long has it been
Since
we left them?
we left. Oh, those guys.
Them guys.
Oh, like 10 minutes.
Which one I'll say, Lyra, we've got plenty of time, so if you and Orion want to catch up, I'll happily take my leave and meet you back at the keep.
I don't know how much else there is to say.
No, it's only been a couple of days since we last saw each other.
Time is such a strange thing, I can never quite get my head around it. It feels like several weeks.
Well, I better get back to work if there's nothing else.
No, thank you for your help.
He stands up and sort of dusts himself down and nods to both of you and then walks away. Excuse me. Is that you? So, Lyra and Galatha, what are you two doing for the rest of this time? And Asha, actually, for...
In my room, drinking tea.
Okay.
Like the old woman.
And fuck it, I will have a little attempt at trying to contact Odin while here.
Okay.
Let's go all in.
Make a religion check. Make a religion check using your charisma instead of your intelligence.
For the rest of the time, I'll say as well. That's wrong.
Yeah.
I think Kelly's will just kind of walk around the blade and see what use he can be to work for anyone.
They give you some instructions and sort of help you. They basically use you as a morale booster.
Cool.
So you sort of giving stories and helping people get through, helping some of the wounded, just doing general Kalatari bard things.
Cool. Would that use any inspirations or?
If you so choose, but I mean, you can take a short rest and get it back. So
Yeah. Fair.
as well, Connor.
Hang on, I'm adding.
Matt.
I'm trying to remember. In Van Thalder is where we are. There's nowhere where I'm be able to buy any magic scrolls, presumably.
Van Thalder was completely obliterated. during
I
the
mean, I think beforehand it was fairly low on that stuff.
Yeah, the Vantada wasn't really one for that sort of thing. They did do trade, and occasionally they would have stuff in place. The Blame would have been the place that you would have wanted to purchase those sorts of things.
I'm struggling here. You
Maybe I
said to
should
roll with charisma.
So, do you have proficiency in religion?
Yeah.
Then it's D20 plus 10.
No, +5.
No, plus charisma and then +5 for proficiency bonus.
I think it's 18.
18.
Because I rolled D10 on top. I rolled really.
Rolled a D10, or you added 10?
No,
I rolled.
Oh, you rolled. Gotcha. You sit and meditate for a while in your armor with the Shatterfang across your knees, and you try to connect to Odin, sort of praying to the statue that is within.
It's 20.
Sorry?
It'll be 20.
20? Why 20?
You rolled a 4.
Yes.
Plus 10.
Yes.
And then a 6 on the D10.
Gotcha. Okay, fine. Doesn't make much difference.
I didn't know if it would, but.
The prayer extends out, and you are trying to feel that connection. And it's just not there.
Seems fair.
You don't know how that's going to affect some of the things that you can do.
Mm-hmm. Did think that would happen.
You're struggling to try and feel that connection through to Odin, that drawdown of magic.
Can I try and expend a divine smite by hitting a teacup?
Take the blade, and you bring Shatterfang up, and you strike down, and you try and draw upon that divine energy. And nothing happens. You shatter the teacup with the blade. There's no flash of divine energy that accompanies it.
Tis what I thought.
You sort of sit and you ponder this for a little while longer, and you think, has that made any difference to me? You concentrate, and you try to pop out the wings. The wings don't come as you would expect. They are not. The energy is still within you, but instead of it bursting out into this feathery mass, you look in the mirror as you sort of see that you feel energy burning within you. And as you look at it, your eyes and your mouth just burn with this unflinching radiance. It feels around the mouth as if it is burning away. And you're not quite sure what this is, but you have heard of creatures, kinfolk such as this, that have got an energy which is there to destroy evil, and that is its purpose. Whilst others of your kin and those that are imbued with divine power, some have been touched by dark powers and have a more skeletal form to their wings. Others, as you used to be, were there to protect and guide the weak and guard them. Whereas this energy that you're aware of is more driven to destroy and is there for a purpose. But as you think of this, you wonder where you can reconnect that power from. Is there something that has separated you from Odin's strength at this point? And you don't know whether this is temporary or a moment of pettiness.
I don't say anything bad about it. I kind of accepted it.
Mm.
Almost expected. Houston, we have a problem.
You sit there and you think about this for a while. Meanwhile, Leela sat in your cocoon of
In my
clay,
bath.
cocoon of clay, with Cedric and Foundling as your guides. The magician finishes the incantation and utters the final arcane word. Cedric and Foundling, you see as the clay that is around starts to sparkle with the gemstone energy that runs through it, acting as a conduit. The stone seems to sort of undulate throughout the clay before they sink into a singular form, forming essentially a stick figure on the outside, creating bone structure and shrinking the clay down to form this figure around it, based on the skeletal structure that you can see within the diamonds. The clay is sculpted and pulled away and absorbed, shrinking down to create a form similar to that you've seen before. As the final dredges of energy comes, there is a burst of arcane magic that shreds through your eyesight. You blink away and you have to. You turn back. And sat covered in remaining smears of clay is a rock goblin form of Leela.
Does she look the same as she did before she died and became
Does
a
she,
goblin?
does she look like a smaller version of me?
She looks like a smaller version of Cedric currently as they're disguised. But is a rock goblin with the only thing that is slightly different from your perspective is that the fringe is parted on the other side, because Cedric has done it on the wrong way, so the features are slightly inverted, but nothing too drastic.
I feel more myself. Yeah, I'll get up and pat the clay off and like go over and vigorously shake the hand of the wizard. And like, thank you, lean away.
Oh, it worked, excellent. Just be warned that this won't work on you again for a year, so try not to, not be yourself anymore, so I won't be able to do it again for a while.
That's fine. We've got backup. Apparently they can kill me again, so it's fine. But thank you. Really appreciate it. Really must go now. Gotta save the world.
Okay. Yes, family.
You said this clay formed bones and musculature and things. Did it form clothes? Or has it just been running around naked?
Leela is wearing the clothes that she was wearing before she went in, but the clothes now hang a little bit on her.
Can I go and get the clothes that I had left in the keep before?
Yes, you can.
Yay.
You go and change, sort of holding the trousers around your waist, and you sort of scurry off, and you come back in your gnome form, and we'll sort out the beyond as well later. But yay, gnome.
You seem much happier. I'm glad.
Yeah, I didn't realise that I missed my old self, but actually I really did. I'm so glad to be back, and she'll just play with like her mad hair and just like.
Next time, I'll try be more careful when I bring you back.
Obviously, you was fun being a goblin for a while. Definitely an experience, but I'm glad to be back now.
Hopefully, none of us will die. I thought that was the new plan.
New plan, no plan. Yes.
Okay. So, with that done, what are you guys doing?
We should meet with Lirela and see how she got on talking to Olion, if she found out anything useful.
Lyra and Kalatar will return. And are there to speak to if you so choose.
I run up to them like, guys, look, I'm back to myself. My hair's a little different because, you know, something's changed. I'm pretty much back to myself. How did your guys' trip go? It's just run around in a few circles, just like really excited.
You're a little bit slower than you were when you were in your goblin form. Your legs are a little bit shorter, but you're sort of going in the tiniest steps.
Yes, Lyra, Kalatar, what information did you discover? Anything useful?
Well, we've found there are some extra tunnels that we may not have known about when we were there last time. Ravachor is probably still there.
Yes.
And there are going to be all of the kobolds that were there last time.
This could be a problem.
But it still seems to be our only real option.
Only real one, yes.
Then we should just have to carry on. If we do nothing, we lose.
I completely agree. We have to keep going for all our sakes. And not just ourselves, obviously.
Yes, but I think we can allow another day for Asha to rest and for those with magical abilities allow them time to recharge. And for Leela to get used to her little legs again.
Indeed. Where is Asha?
I think she was heading off to her room. She was heading towards the main building.
Is the wizard somewhere about? I was hoping to ask him about something.
I left him over by his bar.
He is in the kitchen, effectively using a washerwoman's tub, and is sort of cleaning it and inspecting the various bits of clay that are contained within it.
Sorry, what is his name? I'm sure we do know this.
Yes, I think it's in your notes, Connor, somewhere.
Yeah, nice to just dump that on me. Yes, his name is Clarence.
It's not Clarence, but it's something else. We'll go with that.
It is now.
That's his middle name.
Learned sir.
Yes.
We are shortly to go on a particular journey, and I'm concerned over a particular issue that has arisen before. I wonder if you know a particular spell. It is called Nistel's Magic Aura.
I don't have it prepared today, but I do know of it.
Well, I was hoping I could find someone who could cast it on me before we, I think we're planning to leave tomorrow. And it would be good if that could be cast before we leave. If you are capable of doing so, that would be excellent.
Oh, well, as I say, I can do it tomorrow morning. I could. What are you attempting to do with it?
Are you aware of my race?
Yes, you are Ladrin. You are the older elven race.
I am therefore native to the Feywild.
I see.
I have in the past been afflicted with the banishment spell, which has sent me to the Feywild, and it has been difficult to return. And as you know, time becomes an issue.
I see. So you're wishing for me to bind you, at least temporarily, to this plane rather than the Feywild? Is that what you're trying to do?
That would be the object, yes.
Yes, I believe I can do that. It would last on you for, if you were to have it cast upon you every day for 30 days, it would last forever, if that's what you're wanting to do, but I don't think you're not here 30 days constantly.
I might choose to do that at some point later and engage someone to do that, but no, for now we need to act a bit more expediently. But I think after a full day.
Very well, I can do that tomorrow if you are ready for me to. If you want me to do that, I can have it prepared.
Yes, please. That would be very useful, and I can reimburse you for the effort if necessary.
Oh no! Your friend Asha is paying me quite well enough to just be here, so that's fine for me to use some of my trifling lesser magics.
Thank you.
Second level, it's fine. It's not doing anything. But yes, I will see you tomorrow then, if there's nothing else.
Indeed. Thank you. And I will leave him to his bath cleaning.
Bath cleaning and note-taking. But you head back to the rest of the group.
Sorry, we did say we were leaving tomorrow, didn't we?
Yeah.
You did.
I'll be heading to Asha Trip.
Mm-hmm. You head up, and the door is closed. There's a knock at your door, Asha.
I will let it in, whatever it may be.
Well, door opens and you see inside is Asha with her full armor, including her helmet. Visor down.
I'll shut the door as I walk in.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, please, make yourself at home. Just walks in.
What's wrong?
Absolutely nothing bar coming back from the dead. All the usual.
Okay, let me put this a different way.
That's what you think. You just go, what's wrong?
Please, take your time.
We've got a day, so. What can I
do? I mean, here you can do whatever you like, really. The world's your oyster.
For you, numpty, not for me.
Everyone has done far too much for me already. I'm a big girl. I can handle everything on my own.
You are, but you've also got a lot on your plate.
Well, yes, you don't get this big and strong by having small plates.
What I mean to say is, we've been told by Cedric that once we're done, that's it. Now, if that is the case, more so than what happened just the other day, something doesn't sit right with me. The Asha that I have travelled with, who may have lost her head in an unfortunate shaving accident, would not have wanted us to sit around and be sorrowful that she is gone.
Absolutely not. There are things to be done, and if I die, I die. These things still have to be done. if anything, me dying has slowed us down, and we must press on, really.
That's the mentality that we've been going through this since the start. There is no greater cog in the wheel than the cause. But we have also decided, rightly or wrongly, that you are a very important piece of that jigsaw. I realize I'm completely mixing my metaphors.
No, I mean, I appreciate the fact that you have all held me in such high regard. At the end of the day, all I am is the hammer to this team's creativity. Other than a strong sword, I don't really offer much, but I do try my best.
You offer far more than you give yourself credit for, my dear. But given the time that we've all spent together, I can honestly say that I'm probably not the only person that has noticed. There's something not right with you. The Asha that we all saw sitting at the table, eating breakfast, quite so calm this morning, is not the Asha that we all know. The Asha that we all know would not currently be sitting in our own room, completely covered.
As it stands right now, I am a holy warrior without a god.
How so?
It's a delicate balancing act, this business of killing and making sure that what you kill is the right way, or at least the right way for your intended god, mine, Odin. Now, it seems in the past I have mightily pissed him off multiple times by disobeying and doing what I want. Unfortunately, a deal I had was struck, and when I died, I was supposed to go and stand by his side.
Hence, Renve trying to find you yesterday.
Exactly. Somehow, Cedric has circumvented or simply disobeyed a greater deity. We're not talking tiny, powerful figures here. We're talking the god of my pantheon.
However, as Leela pointed out, no god can completely overrule another.
No. But they can remove one's ability to cast any magics and any powers granted to this person almost permanently.
Okay, you're going to need to run that one by me because, well, I don't get my power from a god. So what you've just said is slightly alien to me.
You can cast spells because you've learned them. I can cast spells because they're given to me. And my power is channeled through my deity onto my blade, and its destructive powers henceforth. I can no longer do that.
Would I have any clue for why this might have happened? Make a religion check. Bad things. Oh, bloody hell. 27. Okay. There are stories of divine warriors who have
done something that turns them away from the path of their deity for whatever reason. They have either rejected the tenets of their belief and have done an act that in the eyes of their god means that they are not worthy. There are those who have created an affront in some way and have displayed direct orders. And usually the way that they regain these abilities is either through penance of some sort, right, which can be particular to each individual god, or by binding themselves to another deity in order to gain the strength to get that penance, either another deity or another being of some sort.
Well, that's it's not quite what I expected you to say, but I think this stands above everything that I've probably ever said to you. You're not alone. I don't know about anyone else. They may agree with me. They may have something slightly different.
Dearest Kalatar, I would not be standing here if I was alone.
No matter what pain you must go through in the next, I don't know how long, days, weeks, months, years, even, I will be right by your side to the end. No matter what you say, no matter what you do. I've often joked about my feelings for various people, including you, right from the start. But I have never felt this about another particular person. The love that I feel for many people tends to be a bit, well, tends to come through one mindset and one area. The love for Asha, for you, comes right from the heart.
And I will ensure that you live a long and prosperous life, Kalatar.
Oh, I wouldn't count on that, as we've seen many times before. I'm very capable of being in completely the wrong place because my mind tells me I need to be somewhere. But,
and you say from the very beginning. It's a funny thing you say from the beginning because, well, at the beginning we didn't have godly powers and the tools in which they've given us now, and we did okay back then.
This is true. But if I remember correctly, back to when this all began, I did make an attempt in the way that I've attempted with so many other people.
I gloriously shut that down.
I have never been shut down faster and harder in my life before meeting you or ever since.
And I respect the fact that you honored that.
I also learned that let's not try that again, because you said, and I can't remember quote word for word, if you try that with me, I will cut your head off.
That definitely sounds like something I would say.
That sentiment has stuck with me ever since that glorious day. And it's a sentiment I stand on too.
No, I appreciate you as a friend, Kalatar, and it is and has been a fantastic ride. I will need someone to look after Noala and Frode when I'm gone.
Well, I've jokingly said in the past that I will do everything that I can, in all seriousness.
And I would like to take you up on that offer as such. When all is said and done.
Also, don't you think this is a little bit too much?
Oh, unfortunately, now I have an issue.
What issue?
I know I've already used it once for the day, but can I show Kelata?
Sure, for the purposes of this, you concentrate and you try and focus your energy, and you suddenly see Kelata, this burning light appear, and actually, you've seen her eyes light up before. This is more of a divine fire that has appeared in her mouth and eyes and is just burning out. And no wings appear, which is what you usually expect to see.
Okay, that is mildly horrifying.
If I focus properly, I'm afraid it would hurt you in this room.
That would not surprise me in the least.
It also hurts me.
Each of you takes 8 points of radiant damage as the divine light that bursts from her burns into you, which you can't end as a burn.
Do I negate that with my resistances, or is it just you take 8 points?
What was it? Sorry, radiant damage?
Yeah, radiant
damage. I take 4 anyway.
Because I resist necrotic and radiant.
I would say, for the purposes of this aspect, it ignores your resistance to radiant damage.
Okay.
Otherwise, it's a very odd ability to deal you that extra damage, and then it's instantly halved. Does seem like there's not much benefit to it, I suppose.
Is this because of the lost or maybe new connection?
I think this is more of a realignment of before I lived to serve and protect, and now it is just an issue of if I have to destroy everything in a single line to get a job done, then I will. Although slightly held back by the lack of magic now, but it just means I'll have to hit things more.
Yes. Well. I don't know what else to say, I'm afraid. I don't know.
I'm conflicted on whether I should tell the others or not. I feel like knowing that I'm a lot weaker may make them believe that we shouldn't go to places that we need to go.
Well, that may be the case, but may not. Wherever you go at the moment, I'll follow, because I've got nothing else to do. Or nothing better.
Well, stock up on some healing potions, because it's going to get dangerous from here on out, more so than normal.
I've got certain magics that I can use in such a way, so.
Doesn't really help when you're eaten by a shark, though, Kelata. Just saying.
That was an unfortunate situation. And when we saw the big shark, I kind of thought it would aim more for you, Foundling, and Lyra, and then all of a sudden it came and found me.
Wise shark.
Yes, why is to go for one that's doing minimal damage and minimal healing?
Clever girl.
And if I remember correctly, you and I ended up in the same place. So.
I was never actually swallowed.
Yes, you were.
Yeah, you were.
Just torn limb from limb, then swallowed.
Yeah, you were chomped on and then swallowed.
Well, get your rest. We've got a heavy few days ahead of us.
Don't worry, everything's heavy to me now.
I offer my hands out.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I crush it? Like, is this a...
Just kind of a test.
Take 5 points of bludgeoning damage. It just crushes the body.
Nice. And I will leave. I will return to my room.
Okay. Is there anything else that anyone wishes to do at this day? Because you've only been awake for about 3 hours at most, like 3 to 5 hours ish.
As we're sticking around the keep rest of the day, I'm going to practice with the new staff.
Mm-hmm. And you take time to attune to it, and you get used to the aspect of wielding it with your extra arms.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna hold on. How many charges does it take? 5 charges. Okay. Seeing as we're just chilling for a bit, I'm gonna. There's some. It's a wooded area, isn't it, around the keep?
Yes.
I would like to awaken 2 trees.
Okay. Roll a d20 because I think that uses all the charges.
It does, but there isn't a breaks on. There's no breaks on loss of all the charges on it, as far as I'm aware.
I will double check. The start of the woodlands. I'm sure you're right. I just certain.
D&D Beyond does sometimes like cut stuff a little bit short, so.
There's something else I want to do instead.
Okay, I'll come to you in a second.
Yeah, go through. Anyone else wants to do?
Start of the woodlands. If you roll the last charge, roll a d20. And if it is a 1, then it loses its properties.
Where?
On the item.
Where? I mean, yeah, I would do it.
The staff has 10 charges, and it's the second paragraph. The staff has 10 charges, and he has the following properties.
Fucking hell, I was close.
Was it a 2?
It was a 2.
Yeah, it regains 1d6 plus 4 charges daily at dawn. If you expend the last charge, you roll d20, and it loses its properties, become non-magical.
Okay. Yeah.
Fine.
I know. I've got an expanded thing now. It was based off this. Yeah, it's fine.
Gotcha.
I had a shortened version for the spell, but it didn't have all the full details of the item on that screen. That's why. Okay.
Gotcha. So you now have two awakened trees.
2 awakened trees, and I'm just gonna literally just be like, please, can you make sure that you guard this area, and I just want to make sure that whilst we're not here, that everything is safe. That is all. Thank you very much.
They sort of look at you for a moment. And, what language do you give them? Is out of interest.
Oh, I will give them. I will give them Elvish.
Okay. But do they speak in common?
They do not.
Okay. Yeah, awakened tree. 30 days gains language. Okay.
I just want some like sentinels basically walking around and keeping.
Sure. They look at you and they say in Elvish, "We will do this, small one." Because they are charmed by you, so they have no choice.
Yup.
We weren't going anywhere anyway, so we may as well stay here.
Thank you. I'll catch up with you next time I'm here.
Farewell, Lightbringer.
I'm gonna literally just be collecting titles for Cedric now.
Might as well.
As you sort of wander off, you hear one of them saying, "I've got a real itch on my back. Would you mind? I can't quite reach it." And says, "Well, if you could deal with the bird's nest that I've got in here, it's rather peculiar. I've got a squirrel that stored nuts in me. I don't quite like it."
I've picked like the 2 most like moany complaining trees. And
yes. Yep. Yes, pretty much.
Oh, good. Well, that's me.
Okay. Anyone, anything else that they wish to do?
Will I have time to build a new drone?
How long does it take? About 3 hours.
Um,
Can we say before?
it was, yeah.
It was, yes.
Well, Kavina isn't here, so you have access to the workshop on your own. So yes, you could rebuild the drone quite merrily on your own.
Yay.
Not with the Lego video game soundtrack. Thank you.
Yeah. I'm gonna do that too. I have the money to do it as well. Fine. I don't think I've got things to buy.
There's nothing to buy from. The problem here, there's no shops.
So I have all the stuff needed.
You have the various materials, yeah. You easily enough, and you could go and borrow some and give them the gold for it if you need to.
Okay. Droney 2.
Droney, I think this is Droney 3.0 by this point.
Is it Droney 3?
This is Droney 3.
Droney 3.
Droney's died twice.
Oh, Droney 3.
Droney 3. Okay. Anyone else? Kavina's obviously off doing her thing.
Just cracking many beers.
Yep. Another!
Another.
I imagine just doing a full shotgun start on them, just.
Yeah. As many as I can get down.
Yep. You do not have a restful night's sleep. Okay. Lyra family.
Already covered me. Training,
Yep.
meditating.
Mm-hmm. Lyra?
Yeah, meditating, trancing, thinking about beholders and possibly the worst day of Lyra's life so far.
Yes, that's there. Okay. In which case, Delta, what was your other thing?
Sorry. I've just seen a fat girl.
Yes, Connor has sent me that gift as well.
But thinking on the line, thank you.
Yes. Yes.
I'll be Asha. Gallus, I will be sitting in his room contemplating and thinking about everything that we as a party have gone through and things that we've had to sacrifice. And he will inevitably at one point say, well, I don't know how this will work or if it will work at all. And he'll try and reach out to Odin.
Okay. How do you reach out to Odin?
In whatever way I can.
Okay.
Statues dotted around.
Yeah, there is a statue of Odin outside.
And barred, scowled, not too different.
How big is said statue?
10 feet. Ish. 10, it's sort of 7 to 10 feet.
A bit too big. I'm going to try and drag it into the room, but
you can do it in here if you want, in your room if you wish. Just looking at it.
no, he'll go and sit right in front of this statue and just sit properly in front of it.
Make a persuasion check.
Ooh. Persuasion. 27.
Okay. You sit there and you focus upon the statue in a way that you've only really connected with one other being, without that before. And you set and you connect yourself to the wider aspect of meditating and that focusing. You hear the caws of ravens around you. You see in your mind a single eye just appear, flashing, bloodshot, angry, staring right into your soul. The visage pulled back, and you see the head of God. No body, just the head, staring back at you. What?
don't know if this would work.
My gaze is obstructed, you and your group. And from what you've heard about discussions with Odin before, Odin generally is patient and understanding, but he sounds angry.
Understand? Being the great gods that you are, I was looking for some understanding.
What do you wish to understand?
The predicament that has taken my friend and your former servant, the place that she is now.
She made a deal. Then she subjugated that deal. Subverted the deal, sorry, wrong word. Why should I give her an ounce of my power?
I'm not suggesting that you should. The mere understanding is to widen my own knowledge, to understand the abilities that she now has, and to try and find where they're coming from.
You should know them well enough. I sense you've tethered yourself to another being.
I know.
Then you know the bond, where to draw the energy from.
I do.
What would happen if your chosen, your patron, were to sever that link? Because you disrespected,
Being an
you reneged on a promise.
being an ancient dragon, I fear that the connection will be lost and I'll be dead within minutes. And that's from an ancient dragon, not a god.
It is not our place to murder indiscriminately.
My understanding, and admittedly, it is not great, that no god can completely overrule another.
Correct.
Therefore, that if your deal that was bypassed, shall we say, had stood, does it completely not? Or has she now made a completely different deal with another god?
The deal stood that when she fell in battle, she would join me at my side in Valhalla, to serve as general, commander of the Inheya, to be there when I fought at Ragnarok, to die alongside me. No. It has been taken upon another of your friends to prevent this. And what is to say that you won't just abscond? Your destiny is to see this world in ruin or in resolve, and at peace. The problem that solved it has not fallen. Then you could argue that your destiny is not fulfilled, and that thread would not be severed. And therefore, my deal as all father would never come to fruition.
This is my understanding that the deal made by my friend has entwined the two of them to the same fate.
Yes, But one might rise to Valhalla. The other shall not.
And that is entire. Can't put that high enough to go through the camera. And that would be entirely right given circumstance.
So why are you here? So far you've done as agreed.
I wanted the clarification that you've just given me.
Then we are done here.
I thank you for your time.
There's a crackle of thunder and you are thrown backwards from your seated position. You just tumble over backwards, you clattering into Fountain, who is practicing nearby.
Sorry.
If you wished to spar Kalatar, you only had to say.
I fear if I were to attempt to spar with you, it probably wouldn't end well for me.
You would learn something.
Yes, and I fear that lesson may be how to have my art handed to me. I have seen you fight, family. It is very impressive. But it's not something that I understand have the right abilities to do.
You have your magic. I don't have that.
You have certain magic. A different sort. But certain magic.
I don't think most of what I do is magic. It's more from the items or channeling my own spirit and life force.
This is true. I will leave you to your own desires. And I'll make my way back to my room.
Be careful not to trip and fall again.
Oh, I will go for it.
All right.
Go back into my room and I just sit on my bed and read some of the literature.
The porn or the regular?
Both.
Okay. Alternatively, different chapters of each.
Yeah, not really.
No. Okay. Is there anything else that anyone wishes to do this day, or proceed with a long rest?
There might be, but I need to look into it.
Okay.
I've been looking at my conclusions.
Okay.
But I need to look, see if what I want to do is.
Okay. We can have a look at that in the week, and we can say if it's the thing that you did. Are you doing the thing with the crab?
That's already been done.
Yeah, but are you going to take that along with you?
Well, as far as I know, Lena doesn't actually know what we're doing, really.
Okay.
So.
Fair enough. All right. So in which case, possible tinkering aside, the night is brought to you. A long rest is held. Asha, you are now at a -1 to your ability checks, saving throws, and attacks. There's still that exhaustion that resides within you, but apart from that, everyone else has a long rest. Is there anything that you wish to do this morning? Any discussions you wish to have as part of your planning for your next day of journey? Anyone that you wish to speak with, or?
I'd like to get that spell cast on me.
The mystic aura is put upon you. You are effectively masked to be a creature from the material plane.
Thank you.
You assume. He may be fucking with you, you're not sure.
Well, if he is, I'll hunt him down, make life unpleasant when we get back.
You are from this volcano. Ah!
I love the idea of that. If you screw with me, I will hunt you down. Make your life unpleasant.
Well, I won't kill him because then he wouldn't be able to finish the job on the portrait.
Good thinking, that woman.
Give it a year, then we'll kill him.
Exactly.
No, is there anything that you wish to discuss, or anyone that you wish to speak to? If you want to check in with Tafina before you depart.
Well, that might be an idea. I will send a message to Tafina.
With sending.
Indeed. I will say, hope you're okay. We're off to the Great Expanse. Hope to see you soon.
I'm okay. I hope you're all well. Thank you. I'll possibly be a couple more days.
Okay.
And they're both imposters because neither of them used the code word.
No.
Dun dun dun.
Damn, cool.
Well, to cast the spell, they would have had to know the target was Gavina, so technically was. All right. So, unless there is anything else that you wish to do, the party gathers their various supplies.
I will put the crab on the blimp.
Okay.
Are you going in the blimp?
I thought we
How are
were.
we getting? We're getting.
Yeah.
Okay,
I thought so, because
crab's pretty much going to live in the blimp.
long way away.
Okay. You set up your various components and various spells for the day. Those of you that can change them.
Is the blimp camouflaged at the minute?
Currently, yes.
That's fine, because otherwise we don't want to leave it outside the temple and then find out when we get back that it's been destroyed by wyverns or something.
Yes, exactly. Well, it's camouflaged to look like a blimp. It is not camouflaged to look like desert sand.
Yeah. A blimp looks better standing there than a bunch of tentacles.
True.
Yes.
Yeah.
But you gather up your supplies, your equipment, and climb aboard the blimp. Those of you who sort of recognize that haven't seen it before recognize that Asha is wearing full armor with the helm and faceplate down, which is an unusual step. Asha doesn't normally go with the full effect. But you get yourselves ready. Teleport to the astral plane and using the memory from hello.
Just before we go,
Yes.
I might sort of approach Asha quietly, put an arm on her, a hand on her very heavily armored shoulder, and just say, "We're very grateful to have you, and we know how much this is costing you and Cedric. While you're here, maybe you need to embrace the Raven Queen's involvement.
I
Maybe
will certainly take it under my wing, and
she's not necessarily a kind mistress, but she's a just one.
I'm not going to give up all hope just yet on Odin. Maybe I'll get another go, but we'll see. But I very much appreciate it.
It seems to me that maybe the Raven Queen's borrowed you for a while. When whatever we're doing here is done, you'll go back to Odin, and I hope he will receive you.
Well, we'll just have to see about that when we get there.
True.
Your words mean a lot. Thank you ever so much.
Sorry, that was all.
Okay. You position yourselves ready to teleport into the astral sea and then return to the Great Expanse, where so long ago this party had one of its greatest challenges. Using Cedric, Asha, Keltar, and Lyra's memories of the location, you find yourself anchored above the sunken temple. So you think. But the temple itself is not visible from the surface. And that is going to pick up next week.
Mm.
Whew.
Dun, dun,
That's a thing. That's a session. That was good, guys. Well done.
Good roleplay, guys. Good roleplay. Well done.
Nice heavy RPG session.
We needed one.
Yeah, it's been a while.
We've done a lot of fighting lately.
Roleplay is
Yes.
hard over Zoom.
Yeah, it's
Yes.
It is hard over Zoom.
It's busy. Yeah. I tried to do it on my end, the spotlight when Kelator and Asha were talking, to just spotlight those two, but it didn't carry through to anyone else. So we'll have to try and figure out how to do that in the future. Because that would have been quite cool to just have those two front and center. But we'll worry about that another time.
That's future.
That's a future problem.
Hmm.
So, thank you very much for joining us, everyone. We hope you're taking care of yourselves and everything, staying safe. Thank you for joining us if you are. If you want to see us do some more things, Connor, I think you're going to be doing some stuff on the channel in the next couple of weeks, do you say? Or do you want to talk about that now?
Yes.
Or do you want to...
Yeah. Oh, I mean, I will hopefully be doing a Let's Play through the new Resident Evil game live on stream.
Ooh.
So, yeah, if you want to come and see maybe a drunken Connor and scream and cry every now and then. The last time I did this, yeah, the last time I did this on the last Resident Evil game, it got quite hectic. So, yeah.
We'll see how it goes. We'll announce times and all that when it comes to. I like come and sit in the chat. I like come and just sit and annoy Connor whilst he plays.
Certainly.
Tell him when it's muted.
Yeah, Connor, shoot that guy.
I always play with. I play with text chat as well, so it actually screams it through my headset.
Oh, you should not have told us that.
Yeah.
So does that mean we're going to be doing some backseat gaming?
Oh, for sure. Like telling people to buy certain conditions and whatnot while playing League and, all that sort of stuff there, Ross.
Yes, it's like that. Yes. So if you
Just
played
like
it, if you played it correctly, then there wouldn't be a problem.
And who knows? We may try and play some board and card games in the future if time allows it. We'll go play over Steam and stuff. I mean, Tom and I very successfully played Dungeon Mayhem in the first lockdown that we did. That was quite entertaining.
Yeah.
And I think we found an emulator for Cards Against Humanity, which might be amusing.
We did. It
wasn't the best, but
brilliant, but it was something.
Something amusing. But as I say, might be able to find something over Steam for those who board games. But yes, there'll be more things coming as time goes on. Just
Have more social media presence.
no, we're trying to do these things. If anyone's interested, I was on Tales from the Tavern by Shared Experience Twitch channel last Sunday. That was quite good fun, quite a good opportunity to go and sit down and have a chat. If you want to go check them out, it's quite a lot of fun. Some deep conversations happening very late at night. So I regretted my decision the following morning. But yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Morning.
What? I woke up at 10-ish. Ish. But no, so that was a lot of fun. Thank you very much for those guys for letting me be a part of that. That was so good fun. So thank you everyone for joining us. I hope you're staying safe out there. Take care of yourselves, and we'll see you next time. Good night, everyone.
Doodle-oo.
So